Hey cutie. Welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Laura. Hi, hello, welcome. I was filming my last video you saw, which was the items I packed versus didn't pack, or like what I packed versus didn't use. When I was recording that video, I actually cut a lot of mentioning, oh, I'm unofficially panning this, I'm unofficially panning that. And I figured I would actually take all of the items that I have been unofficially panning in some capacity within the past year or couple months at least. And I just kind of wanted to share them with you because I know we have a couple project pans going on my page and on my channel. And I do try to focus and use items up that way. However, there are always items that are in like the back of my mind that I want to try to make some effort in some capacity. So I have, it's definitely more than 10 items, but I've grouped one assortment of items together and I'm counting it as one item, even though it's like in and of itself, it's about 10 items. So I have just my makeup items and miscellaneous items here that I have been panning in the background unbeknownst to you guys. And I figured I'd just share them with you guys. So the first item is like my assortment of items, but I have an assortment here of just random mini products that I've received as gift with purchases, and I've actually been doing a really good job finishing some of these items up. And because they're sample size items, that's why I am like considering them almost like kind of as one grouping of items rather than like 10 to 15 items. So I have 6 items here that I've actually been opening, trying to use, trying to finish. I have actually finished a couple more of these mini size items within the past couple months. You've probably seen me talk about them in my empties videos at some point, but these ones are currently open and I'm working on finishing. So the first one I've been working on for a while now, it's a body lotion, but this has retinol in it, so I actually don't use this all too often, and it was in my work bag as like my work lotion, but I realized it has retinol in it and it probably shouldn't be used in an office that has very open windows, a lot of light, so I don't want to have like skin damage on my hands and make them look older faster. I don't like the scent of it that much. This is the 𝙠𝙨. It's that like goat milk one, so it just kind of has like a funky goaty kind of smell. In addition to the hand lotion, maybe we'll talk about another retinol product, I guess, and that is one of these. This is the Perricone MD, what are you? The Growth Factor Firming and Lifting Serum. This has been okay. It's really, really floral scented, so I wouldn't purchase it, but it's been like okay. I've been using it once every 2 weeks or so. Not a high user. Again, this is something that has like exfoliation into the skin and I think retinol, so I just don't want to use it all that often, especially as it's still been super sunny here. Speaking of sunny, I have been really enjoying this though. This is the 𝙍𝙬𝙘𝙚 SPF. This is a super, super liquidy SPF. This is the Mega Shade 50 Breakout Proof Sunscreen Serum. I actually really like this. There is just a small amount left in here, probably good for like one more use on my face, but I just wanted to show you how like liquidy that is. It's really nice. It has more of a glow finish. The La Roche-Posay one has more of that matte, like pressed powder kind of finish down, whereas this one definitely has that sunscreen kind of finish, sunscreen kind of feel to it. But I like how liquidy it is. I really like how it just really spreads on the skin really easily. And this is probably the, so far, out of the assortment of minis I have, if I haven't used them before, this is really the only one that I could see myself wanting to purchase in the future so far out of the minis I've tried. Apart from the ones that I've used full sizes of, which we'll get to. However, this one is next. This is the Pixi Glow Tonic. I opened this when I was in Vegas just to have like an exfoliating skincare step, and it's just okay. I don't really get the hype on it. Then I do have 2 of the minis that I've opened and used before, so I'll just talk about them quickly. These 2 here, a Garnier Micellar Water, and then the La Roche-Posay Gentle Hydrating Cleanser. I actually have 2 full sizes of this going. So this was what I brought with me on vacation to Vegas. So I used that and I enjoyed it. And then the Garnier micellar water. I've just had this before. And then I have 6 other mini products. First one should be pretty easy to use, but I didn't want to bring it with me when we went to Vegas because I wasn't sure with the retinol in it when I was going to be out in the sun. Tony Moly eye patches. It's just a single serve packet, so I can get this done pretty quickly. Just kind of waiting for the winter months when I have less sun exposure out there. I have a couple other like retinol products that are like exfoliating retinol, serum-y kind of things that I'm waiting to finish my Paracone one before I dive into these 3. They're the Vichy Lift Active one, this guy here, haven't used. A Shiseido one, which honestly, this is really pretty packaging and I'm excited to use this one. And then the Elizabeth Arden Ceramide capsules. I could use these here and there, but I just haven't yet. Something I have used in the past, and I'm just gonna work on it when in the winter. Confidence in a cream. And then I have never used the Drunk Elephant Jelly number 9, but I will use that at some point. And then everything else is makeup. I have one primer that I've been focusing on in the background on top of my La Roche-Posay SPF primer that's in my end of year project pan. I have also been like on the back, on the down low, trying to finish up the AOA Cosmic Cowgirl primer. This is not too full at this point. I'm maybe down to here. So I have a decent amount to go, but I also feel like I've made a lot of progress since this has come into my life at the beginning of the year. Another, I guess it's not a primer, but it's something I would put on before powders. I have been low-key trying to finish my IT Cosmetics. I know this is like super janky looking. The IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye, because I have a very little amount left. I actually have a binder clip that I've been pushing the product down to the lower portion just so I can also see windowing, and there is windowing. It's probably not going to pick up on camera super easily, but there is windowing in this little. So I am pretty happy with the progress that I've been making in this one. Again, this is not a shade that I could wear all year round. I have panned one of these minis in the past. It's not my favorite concealer formula, but the more I use it, the more I enjoy it. And I think it's just because I understand it and I know how to use this now since I've used so much of it. Again, there is a 0.4 fluid ounces, 12 mils in this, so it's a decent size. I have 2 loose powders I've been trying to finish, and these are like very long haul kind of items, and that's why they're back burner project pan items. They are 2 very humongous loose powders. I have the JCat Luxe Pro Powder in Pearl Luminizer, and then I have the Makeup Revolution Translucent Baking Powder. And I have been enjoying these. I mix them together in a different container because I have like a different ratio of product I like with each. I definitely like less of this JCat one because it does have a sheen to it, but because it has a sheen to it, it kind of livens up this one. However, this is like obviously the one I've been trying to use the most of. Actually, can we see? Like, I've been making some progress on them since they've been in my collection this year. But I'm still nowhere near finishing these. So again, these will not ever really be in a project until I'm at like the bottom of the barrel, I think. But those 2 powders have been mixed in this Cover FX packaging, and that's what I use predominantly on my under eyes. Occasionally I'll use it to set my whole face. But for the most part, what I've been really enjoying and focusing on trying to use to set my face is the Ulta Beauty Matte Finishing Powder in Light Neutral. Surprisingly, Light Neutral is a little bit deeper, even though it doesn't look super deep in the pan. It definitely deepens when I put it on my complexion, like on my skin. So it does deepen a bit. This is not what I'm wearing today, actually. But this has been really nice. This is what I brought with me again to Vegas. I have been just slowly focusing on trying to expand the pan ever since I hit pan in this, I believe earlier this year. I've just kind of wanted to see how the pan expands and what damage I can do within this year to make myself have an easier time in the future when I do decide I want to actually focus on this one. I know I've talked a lot about items that I want to finish up, but that's not always the goal. And this next item is actually something that I only want to hit pan in, and I have been focusing that to try to hit pan in this. And it is my Beauty Bakery Snackaroons bronzer in the shade I Don't Give a Sip. I don't give a sip, y'all. You can see there's like clear like scraping marks in this. I did at one point scrape some of the product out. This was like in the very dead of summer, and mixed a little bit in with my loose powder just to kind of brighten it or deepen it up a bit, because it was harshly brightening on my skin. But ever since that, I did not do that anymore because I did not like how it ended up turning out in the loose powder. And I've just been focusing on this as almost my sole bronzer the past couple months because I'm trying to hit pan in this. And it's not my favorite bronzer. I am wearing it today. It's definitely more orange toned than I prefer in a bronzer, but it's not bad. I don't hate it by any means, and I can definitely get my use out of it. I'm excited for the day that I actually can hit pan in this and just move on. Down to my last 3 items. The first one that I've been focusing on ever since I finished another item. If you know, you know. But I'm trying to finish my Mario Badescu facial setting spray. I really do eat facial sprays pretty quickly. I really like to drench my skin in them. Setting sprays or facial sprays, it really doesn't matter. I've been finding myself liking the hydrating sprays in between layers of makeup, which is why I've gone through such a decent amount of this. This was actually brand new when I rolled it, or when we started 2024. This was brand new, if maybe just a little bit used, but I've made a ton of progress. This is a 12 8-ounce container, so it's a pretty big size bottle, and I've made a decent amount, and I don't foresee this taking that much longer. I actually have a feeling I can finish this by the end of the year. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch because there is a decent amount of product left, and this is pretty like thick, girthy. So then my last 2 items are kind of like my necessity items, so of course I'm trying to finish them. I have more items than these 10 that I'm like looking at some lip products that I'm trying to finish too, but that's fine. I've been trying to low-key pan this eyeliner. This is the Essence But First Espresso eyeliner pencil. I actually bought this new maybe March, maybe April, within 2024, and I've already made a decent amount of progress on this. This is like my daily tightline color. So I do that, I scribble on my tightline, and that is how I've gotten all my use out of this. That is it. Just dedicated use in my tightline. It's crazy how if you use your makeup, it actually gets used up. I've been trying to just plow through my lip products, especially my Kopari lip glossies, because they are getting a little bit older in my collection, and rather than watch them expire, I'm just trying to use them up while they're still fresh. So I have 2 left in my collection, and I'm trying to finish one of them. This is the Sunset Kiss. I made a decent amount of progress on this. I almost lost this when we were in Vegas, and I was like, no! Snatched it from where I dropped it. I've been really trying to make some strides in my lip product category because I have been so tempted with buying the 3-piece Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Set, and I think I'm just going to bite the bullet and do it because I have been making really good progress in my lip products this year, and that is going to be a big focus for me next year. But those are the 10 items, little more than 10 items. It's kind of like 20 items with all the minis sprinkled in, but I'm counting those minis as one little grouping, one little set of items. Let me know if you have any items that you are unofficially trying to project pan. I would love to know in the comments below. And until my next video, I hope you guys are staying healthy, sane, and safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!